What's up, guys? It's been a while. My name is jrsimagesphotography, and on this channel we actually teach people about photography. Today I really wanted to do a video teaching you guys the basics of photography. Right now I'm shooting on the Sony a6400. I do have the 18 to 135. I have a cage on it just because it's good to hold. It is a little bit overcast today, so I decided to make this video more fun and shoot black and white instead of just color. Educational purposes more so, but you know, take a subject and show you guys different setting techniques. So for example, if I'm shooting this birds of paradise right here, my shutter speed's way too high, or my ISO is way too high, or my aperture is way too low. I'm going to explain why this is crucial to have the right settings dialed in before you guys shoot out in wherever environment you are in. And it's also nice because we do have overcast weather. I can show you guys what mistakes you guys can make or anything. It's photography. It's a medium. You have to just keep doing it to get better at it. Let's get into it. I am going to go over the settings. So what is auto, what is M, what is S, stuff like that. So I'm gonna really dive deep in this video, and I also want to make a quick announcement. I had a recent email, and it was actually a collaboration from Hanser, and they're like, hey, you know what, we love your videos, we want to collaborate with you. Here is 1 year worth of film emulation. So Hanser actually color grades film for Final Cut Pro, DaVinci Resolve, Lightroom, stuff like that. They have a bunch of other stuff that's really cool, but just know that this whole entire video is color graded with their film emulations. Not the photos though. The photos will be my edits, my tweaks, my optimizations, so just kind of keep that in mind. So with that being said, let's get on with this video and let's shoot. Okay, so I really wanted to point out before we kind of get into taking pictures about the settings that are on the camera, meaning the dial. So on the right side of the screen, you're gonna see, you know, S and Q, a little film grid, MR, MS, A, P, stuff like that, okay? So that's what we're gonna be looking at for right now. As far as what the dials actually mean, I'm gonna break that down for you. So if you wanna look at your camera to get kind of a reference and to kind of help you out, if you're more of a visual person, or if you just wanna listen to this while you're navigating through these settings on your camera, definitely feel free to do so. However, M is completely manual. You get to control everything you, so the aperture, the ISO, the shutter speed, stuff like that. You're very in control of what you do, and you have to change your setting periodically in different environments and different lighting situations. S mode is basically shutter priority. So you only get to control the shutter speed, but the aperture and the ISO is done automatic. So if you're looking for something a little bit more easier, you want to learn these individually and get very good at learning each mode, that would be better off and then switching to manually. But with that being said, P is program, which is program mode. So it's meaning it's setting that shutter speed and aperture, but not the ISO. So if you're comfortable with S mode and you want to get a little bit more advanced, I would recommend program mode. You get to control the shutter speed and the aperture, and if you're kind of still a little fuzzy on the ISO, this mode would be kind of for you. A is basically aperture priority, so you get to control aperture, and ref is automatic. Auto is basically automatic. You know, the camera does everything automatically for you, the shutter speed, the aperture, the ISO, stuff like that. So with that being said, this is going to be our first shot right here. This is birds of paradise. I like to shoot this flower a lot. Look through my viewfinder, I'll take the photo, and then from there, you know, I'll look at what I did. But as far as this photo goes, these are the settings that I did. My settings was 1/60th of a second, 5.6 aperture, and ISO 400. So I would say that is very composed. The sun is out, so I guess I could take another one. I'm not, because we are going to be moving forward to the next photo. But with that being said, I'm really happy how this image turned out. So without further ado, let's go to the next subject. So since this is a tree that I really want to compose, and I really want to have one tree branch here, one tree branch here, and take a photo in between, just because I want the two tree trunks to frame the shot that I want to take. Now, obviously there's nothing really in between of the tree trunks, but that's okay, because the tree trunks on the sides that are creating the framing, which is also a composition, by the way, is going to be the main focus of the photo. So with that being said, let's get to my camera And again, what I like to do before over there that I do over here is look through the camera to make sure that everything that I like is here, that I want to frame up, that everything is good. My settings, my aperture, my ISO, my shutter speed is all good. Right now, perfectly exposed. We're shooting at 1/60th f3.5 at 400 ISO. Now, I could bump it down one stop, and that would be closer to exposed. 1 or 2 stops above exposed is generally fine. A lot of photographers actually do that to kind of just get certain details out of photos or highlights, which is generally fine. But with that being said, having a stop above or stop below of composed images is generally fine, because you can actually just adjust it in Lightroom anyway. So to go further out and shoot, have that shallow depth of field kind of come to me. I am going to move my ND filter to the right, that way I can get the brightness, and I really like that shot. So I got a darker one and I got a brighter one, but I do like both photos just because they do look cinematic. And now, as I like the bright one, I also like the dark one. So I generally might go with the darker one just because I can adjust the lighting a smidge or two, meaning a stop or two above, to make it more exposed just because of the light. But I am going to be keeping the contrast. I am going to be keeping the highlights and the detail in this photo that I just taken. So generally, you know, when it comes to photography, having the right images is very crucial, to me at least, because you get higher quality. You know, as far as going into, let's just say, you know what, hypothetically, let's just say, you know, since it is a windy day, and this is me not thinking of my composition or lighting before. So let's just say I wanted to shoot my shutter speed at 500, and I wanted to shoot my 320 ISO. Now, we are perfectly exposed, but this is the key difference. As you start to go in, even though it might look exposed, you are going to be losing a lot of detail, and it's going to be much darker. So that's what the difference is knowing what shutter speed to shoot with, knowing what ISO to shoot with, knowing what aperture to shoot with is going to help you out more. Because if you are shooting up to 600 shutter speed, which you shouldn't really be shooting shutter speeds like that unless it's a car driving by and it's a sports car. But if you do, make sure you're composing your other settings as well, so that way you're not losing detail with the great images that you are creating. So just keep that in mind when you are shooting. And with that being said, let's move on to the next subject. I think I kind of want to look around a little bit, see my options, or maybe take like 2 more and maybe a potential upcoming video if you guys are interested. So without further ado, let's go. Walking through here to kind of show for educational purposes was these roses right here. I think they're roses. Again, I'm not a flower expert. So anyway, I want to take a photo of that one over there, and I want to do it black and white because roses, black and white, what can go wrong? So I'm going to compose my image and then I'm going to take it. So I took a couple of shots, some that I like, some that I don't. Again, photography is a learning curve, so finding something around in your environment is going to help you more so to take good photos because it attracts your eye. So always keep that in mind. I had a really fun time shooting this video. It has been a very long time. I don't think I even uploaded for a whole month, and it's just because I've been sick, you know. I have more videos that are written, you know, uploading through YouTube or anything like this will result into 700 people or 6,000 people total whatever the case may be, you might learn something from this video. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. I hope you guys taken something from this video and you guys have learned something. 10 likes on this video, I'm gonna do a part 2 of this video talking about compositions. All those terminologies that seem so complex or advanced, they really aren't. My name is jrsimages, and peace out.
That was the end of the story. If you would like to hear it again,
Help me take off his mask.